don't know how these evil people work. They're evil, horrible child snatchers.
Okay, that's fine, but that's your opinion.
It's my child. My child.
Oh, I get that.
I will die for my child.
We are concerned for where she is. Okay, just as much as where you guys are. The reason we're here, and obviously Joe's going to have a chat with you on your own in a moment, is to find out as much information we can to find out where she is.
I don't know where she is.
No idea.
No idea.
Okay. Because I was explaining to Dan obviously before you turned up.
Because they're saying if we know where she is, they're going to arrest us.
But
No.
Now, what would you do if you feared social services were going to take away your child? For some families, the answer is to leave everything behind and just flee abroad, even living on the run. An investigation by this programme has uncovered networks of sympathisers who are providing advice, shelter and sometimes money to help these families flee the country, taking their children with them. Our social affairs editor, Jackie Long, reports.
We are in the middle of packing because the social services caught up with us.
They are families turned fugitives.
Time's up, come on, you need to get dressed so we can go.
Running from the authorities.
I just grabbed hold of them and just ran and ran and ran.
Taking desperate measures to keep the children social services want to take away.
If it gets back to UK social services, all hell will break loose.
We were punished for something that we hadn't done.
This baby is just 10 weeks old, but has been on the run her whole life. She's not alone. We've discovered across Europe there are scores of British children living as fugitives. In all the cases we've seen, the issue is not of physical harm, but of potential emotional abuse or neglect. A serious charge, and one the parents say is almost impossible to fight. So they choose in...
I just returned from court, and they've granted an interim care order on this beautiful little baby. 3 days old. Obviously quite upset. And we're going to fight this all the way. Trying to split us up, trying to take our children away from us. But we've got about an hour with an hour before the foster carers turn up. That's going to take our baby off of us. Said we're allowed 3 contact sessions a week, 2 hours. Not allowed to bond with a baby. Judge granted the order. Doesn't like us. Clashed with her from day one. Asked to recuse her, and took my children into care after that. And now granted this little one to be taken away.
I just notify that basically I am recording this for my own protection.
No, you're not allowed to.
Why is that?
To do that.
It's my property. We're not allowed to do it because to be honest with you, you'd lie to me if I was saying you were even a social worker. You were there to help, and then the next minute you're digging up stuff on me. And there's basically allegations apparently about me, so obviously I want to protect myself.
What I wanted to do was share them with you.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
But I'm not being taped, so I will go.
Aye?
I'm not being taped because you're not allowed to do that without my permission. So I will go.
Well, that doesn't make any sense, does it? Because at the end of the day, you're allowed to film anyway in public. Why are you not allowed to film me all night?
Take me without my permission. The local authority's permission. You don't have it, Robert.
Well, why is that?
You don't have it. I don't think it's illegal with the local authority.
More than 2,500 children were forcibly adopted in the UK last year by social services. It's a controversial practice that's facing widespread criticism at home and abroad. Daniel Hawkins met one family who've experienced the ordeal.
A room made for little princess, but these toys will remain unused and the baby cot has never been slept in. Jane Harley's granddaughter has never even been home. After being born, the child was removed straight from hospital by the police and social services to prevent what they claimed was a risk of future emotional harm because of the father's criminal record.
I went into the room, there were police there, 2 police officers and social services, and my daughter was crying and begging me to help her, and I said, what's happening? What's going on? The police told me to shut up, and every time I said, why are you doing this? What's happening? I was told to shut up. Social services said that they were taking the baby.
Jane and Neil applied to be guardians of the baby, offering to meet any conditions set out by the authorities and undergoing numerous assessments. But after a lengthy legal battle, the child was put up for permanent adoption.
We would give our lives for our granddaughter.
Has come into my home after again clarifying that there was a welfare check, that he was under his oath, that all of a sudden, due to my concealment of pregnancy, that they were forcibly taking my son from my care.
Concealed pregnancy?
I haven't concealed a pregnancy
Okay.
at
Well,
all.
we're going to take the child. Why are we on that?
Whoa, 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 whoa. No.
Yes, yeah, no.
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 I am a breastfeeding mother.
That's fine. Spence? No.
No.
Come in. No.
No.
Under what law?
And then the rest barged in.
What court order? I want a court order right now in this house, signed by a judge.
There's nothing wrong with it.
Right, can you grab your signature?
Sal, I mean,
I want
come
a
on,
wetting signature. Are you getting no
outside.
resistance from me?
Gary, come outside.
I've been peaceful.
No, you have.
They've assaulted my partner. They've assaulted me. And we caught it all on film.
Come outside.
Right, come outside with officers. Can I ask you why?
You're obstructing us.
I'm not obstructing you.
Just do me a favour. I know.
No, please. No.
Nobody said
No.
This is fucking illegal.
Stay calm.
You're obstructing me on my duty. Now, please leave.
Paul was in no way obstructing. He was at the other side of the room at the time of his arrest.
Why are you taking my son? Why are you taking my son?
He was never read his rights, so he wasn't arrested.
Why?
Our child has been stolen! Right. Our child has been stolen! Right.
And then they started pulling my wife's arms.
You're scaring me, we must scare him! Okay, well I don't mean to scare you. And I definitely don't want to scare you. So please pass it.
You're causing trauma. Once it's mom. What do you think the baby wants as soon as it comes out? What's it mom?
I can't hold it!
And that was it. As soon as I got the baby out the flat.
Would you calm down if someone stole your child?
Goodbye. Leave you to it. All I could do was hold my wife.
Children who reported physical and sexual abuse weren't listened to, or they weren't believed. That's the finding of a review of historic allegations against foster carers working for Southampton City Council and Hampshire County Council. One of them was Rex Case, who was eventually jailed in 2012 for over 20 years. Abby Richards was 5 years old when she was sent to live with him. She's waived her rights to anonymity and has spoken for the first time on camera about her ordeal. James Ingham reports.
I just remember living in fear. Every second of every day, just in fear and alone.
Abby Richards was 5 when she was abused by a man she should have been able to trust.
I spent my whole time trying to hide away from him because of everything that he was doing, trying to do, everything that he wanted. And I just wanted someone to save me, and there wasn't anyone there.
Abby's mum was struggling with personal problems, so asked social workers for some help, but they removed her children and placed Abby with a foster carer, Rex Case, who subjected her to serious sexual abuse. Abby was moved when allegations were made by others that Case was a paedophile, but she never saw her mum unsupervised, so she couldn't tell her what happened. Before the sexual abuse, Abby had faced physical and emotional abuse with other carers.
Everywhere I was put, something awful happened. I was always terrified, I was always scared. There was always beatings. I was eating out a dog bowl at one point. I was so hungry. At one form of punishment, they put glue in your eyes. And the thing is, you're just left there alone. There is nowhere to go. There's no one to talk to.
Abby was finally placed with yet another person with a history of physical abuse. Her childhood experiences still affect her today.
I turned to drugs. Some of the relationships I've had. And the thing is, I was never offered any counselling or anything like that. You're just left.
12 years after he abused Abby, Rex Case was jailed for child sex offences committed over 35 years. 3 of his victims were foster children in his care. 7 years after Rex Case was jailed, a serious case review has now been published that's looked into how and why children were placed in his care. This review has found that Rex Case wielded considerable power over social workers here, who tended to give him the benefit of the doubt when suspicions were raised. Even when he was suspended from his job at a hostel after a 17-year-old girl accused him of sexual harassment, social workers still supported him. The report's author has made 11 recommendations that require Southampton City Council to ensure their foster care practice focuses more on the needs of the child. Southampton City Council and Hampshire County Council, that was involved with Rex Case until 1997, told us today that the serious case review provides reassurance that significant changes to regulation have been implemented to ensure that children in care are safeguarded, listened to, and their well-being is prioritised.
It doesn't tell us the one thing we want to know, and that is, what is the name of the person that signed that piece of paper and knowingly put children at the hands of a paedophile?
There is a massive part of you missing, because you know what happened and you've got to live with it every day, and all these questions going around in your head all the time. How was it allowed to happen? And it does, and it totally dominates you.
Abby Rich.
Katie Jane.
Some of you may know me, some of you may have seen what I do. I'm part of a group called Families Destroyed by the State. We're not just parents, we're children, we're aunties, we're uncles, we are grandparents. We have been targeted by the system. We know what they are doing. We are trying to expose them. But there are only a handful of parents who don't have gagging orders. There are only a handful of parents who can warn you and tell you what is going on in the system. These children who Tommy is defending, who Tommy is raising awareness for, those children are coming from us. They are coming from all of us here. They do not need to prove that you have done something, only that you could. It is then your job to prove that you could never, under any circumstances, at any point in the future, do whatever they're accusing you of doing. They use the crystal ball method. Risk of future harm, risk of future neglect, and risk of future abuse. We are dying out there. Our children are dying out there. They are being sold, they are being raped, they are being murdered, and they are being passed around from pillar to post. We are here trying to raise awareness for what is happening to our children, but we cannot do it alone. We need all of you to do your research, look into it, listen to the parents and what's happened to them. Hear their stories and make your own mind up about if you think that parent deserved that, if that child deserved that or not. We want you to ask us questions. We want you to come and talk to us, find out what's going on. What's happened to us, it's too late. It's already done, it's already over with. What we're doing now is trying to help you protect your children. Because once you are in the care system, when you become a parent, your children are targeted. This needs to stop. These are our children. These are our streets. And there's our blood that's being spilled. These are our blood that's being spilled. We need your help. Even if it's just sharing, even if it's coming and listening to us speak, listening to what we're going through. We're not here for ourselves, we are here for the children. Will you be there to hear their voice? Will you help them get their justice? United, we cannot be silenced. Alone we can. If we stand together, no one will stop us. No one will silence us. And our children can be protected by us all. We are family. We're not related through blood, but we are related through trauma. Something brought every single one of us here today. Whether it was Tommy, whether it was the children, whether it was the gang, the homelessness or the vets. Our time is now. If we don't stand up for the children now, statistically we won't have a choice. Our children will not have a chance to fight for what we are doing. It is our choice. Statistically they will not stand a chance unless we stand up now. Our grandfathers and our forefathers fought for this country. Now it's our turn to do it. Who's with me?